Have you ever noticed how the term liberalism can feel like it refers to many different things, sometimes even seemingly contradictory ideas? It is a rich and dynamic tradition, but understanding its nuances can be challenging without historical context. At its core, the difference between classical and modern liberalism lies in their conception of liberty and the role of government. Classical liberalism primarily emphasizes negative liberty, individual economic freedom, limited government intervention, and strong property rights. In contrast, modern liberalism, while rooted in individual rights, expands to include positive liberty, social justice, and advocates for a more active role for government in ensuring equality of opportunity and protecting citizens from broader societal harms. The why behind this divergence is deeply rooted in historical and philosophical developments. Classical liberalism, flourishing from the 1700s through the 1900s, drew heavily from Enlightenment thinkers like John Locke and Adam Smith. It championed natural rights, individual autonomy, and laissez-faire economics, largely viewing government as a potential threat to liberty, needing strict limitations. The ideal was protection from government interference, securing freedoms such as speech, religion, and contract. However, the Industrial Revolution brought new challenges, revealing that merely formal freedoms were insufficient without the social and economic conditions necessary to exercise them. This recognition led to the evolution of modern liberalism in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, influenced by thinkers like John Stuart Mill in his later works and T.H. Green. They argued that true freedom required more than just the absence of external restraint. It also needed the positive capacity for individuals to develop and thrive. This meant addressing issues like poverty, lack of education, and healthcare access. The role of government shifted from being solely as a protector of individual rights to also serving as an enabler of those rights, using its power to create a more just and equitable society where everyone had a fair chance. An interesting nuance is that while classical liberalism prioritizes the freedom to achieve or fail largely on one's own merit, often leading to arguments against welfare states, modern liberalism sees social safety nets and public services as essential components of individual freedom and human flourishing. It is not about abandoning individual rights, but broadening the scope of what those rights demand from society and its institutions. For example, a classical liberal might focus on the freedom to own property and engage in trade without government hindrance, while a modern liberal might also emphasize the right to a living wage or access to affordable housing as necessary conditions for true freedom. Ultimately, recognizing the distinction between classical and modern liberalism helps us understand the different philosophical underpinnings of contemporary political debates. It clarifies that both traditions value individual liberty, but they diverge on the mechanisms and responsibilities required to achieve it. Whether advocating for minimal state intervention or for robust social programs, both streams trace their lineage back to the same fundamental commitment to the individual, even if their paths to empowering that individual have diverged significantly over time.